Yeah? Hey. Uh-huh.
That can't be
Did
who
you
I think
catch the
it
new
is.
play by the Peg Leg performers yet? It's awful.
The Green Menace? That I did. Made me want to poke out my eyes.
Yeah, I got it.
Damn me for a buttered slice of hardtack. It's you, ain't it? Course not, but I know you like I know the curve of my 11th toe. The Watcher, captain of a mighty ship, god chaser and fiend slayer. Must be expensive sustaining a reputation like that, eh? I'll keep it quick, see? If your little dinghy has got some chase in it, I've got a list of captains with a black mark to their name whose ships need a quick scuttling. And I'm in the market for a scuttler. Saying you're not? Me? I hear you divert coin like my second husband to the bottom of a cask. Never mind where I heard it. I heard it all the same, eh? Word gets round faster than pox. So, we have a deal? Better if you don't ask. 'Cause the Deadfire's in a big, ugly power play, it is. And not everyone gets quartered for being in the game. One captain, she's a piece, standing 20 rounds distant from the real players. Another, he's a means to some unknowable end. Who's to say why they both need to die? And the type of clients he pays for the red worker scuttling. They don't blow the gaff to the help. Knew we'd be fast friends, I did. You'll be looking to scuttle Cornu first, one of Rowatai's finest, eh? I don't ask my client what he did or what scale his death balance is. Safer to keep questions in the hold. Course you will. Knows a good opportunity when you seize it. Cornu helms a Voyager early muster in the waters north of Nakataka and south of Sayuka. Avon?
Ain't no cruel eye of me. What good's a pirate who can't see? Forget navigating by the stars or shooting a pistol, I can't even swing a sword accurately now. Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you? Is this what my life boils down to? A moment of entertainment for others? I was a bosun not so long ago, and a damn good one at that. But I took a shot to the face, see? Didn't lose much skin, but the flash burned out me eyesight. I can't make out so much as a blurry shape more than a foot away. Makes me right useless on a crew now, don't it? No one'll have me for work. 100 blessings to you for sharing, sailor. I thank you for your kindness and your endless pockets. The charity's much appreciated. I thank you for your kindness.
Yeah, sure.
Fair day, traveler. Anything I can do for you, just say the word. Lady Adventurer at your humble service. I was born in a deer and raised in the field, and there's nary a crevice of this archipelago I haven't seen. The living lands most off, but the Deadfire as well of late. And my goodness, if you think the Deadfire's wild, I must say, it's no more thrilling than a Lady of Luxury's afternoon luncheon in comparison to the glorious madness of the living lands. Being a cipher's come in quite handy, I'll tell you that. Oh, dear me, yes. Can't seem to avoid it. Not a lick of it's my fault, of course. It's the university. Always sending me to the most dangerous corners of Eora, the skimps. If I didn't know better, I might say they were trying to kill me. There's not other way to rid themselves of a tenured professor, after all. Oh, aye. Some you wouldn't right believe. Like the time I lost part of my ear here, see? Lost an entire research team along with the ear. Rather a long day, that was. My colleagues have implied I might be cursed, but I can't say I much agree. It's just the nature of the work, you understand. I mean, goodness, if you want a lady to find you the rarest plants, you gotta send her to the most remote places. On my last expedition, my colleague Inez got herself lost looking for what was essentially a big prickly weed. No medicinal use at all. I found her, though, mostly intact even. A blessing from the living lands, I call it, aye. But I do go on, don't I? Lady Adventurer, I split my time between a deer and the living lands, though I've spent much time in the Deadfire of late. And my goodness, being a cipher's trouble seems to find me wherever I go. Not a lick of it's my fault, of course. It's the universe. If I did... Good day. Anything I can do for you, just say the word. With pleasure. Teaching is my specialty, after all. I'm gonna pack your brain with so much knowledge, you're gonna have a headache for a week. All I need from you is 3,000 copper. That's your prerogative, I suppose. Hello there. Anything I can do? With pleasure. Teaching is my specialty, after all. That's your prerogative.
A cozy traveler. Care to hear a tale? Well, I was born to a family of merchants on the Pearl Coast. I was a restless boy, and my feet took me to the Valen Republics when I came of age. I learned of the power of geography and language at my father's knee, and those skills proved useful in the republics. I had many successful years as a merchant, and then I made a mistake. I joined up with a company based in Girara that traded in beautiful weavings, but they were ill-gotten gains, forcibly produced by a weaver the company kidnapped named Bonicetta. I didn't learn the truth until it was too late. And when our crime was uncovered, I was exiled from the republics. I would like to make amends to Bonicetta personally, but it seems a distant possibility. Ah, well, I learned my lesson. I won't be played for a fool again. Ah, it is good to blend in. All the better to observe the business of those around you, yes? Ark, you listen to my tale. I suppose I can do that for you for 3,000 copper? As you say.
Well, don't see why not.
Look what I found. kill them, wait an hour, then pull any gold teeth. Easy as pie.
You're an idiot. Wait a minute, wait an hour. Alive, dead, it makes no difference at all.
I've pulled plenty of gold teeth. I know the right way of it.
Maybe I'll pull your teeth just to prove you wrong.
What do you know? It really does make no difference. You, out.
Probably just insecure. What do you need?
Spice? You spice? You need me. Sure, why not?
Haven't seen you around before. Welcome to the King's Coffin. What can I do for you? Figured that out all on your own, did you? You're right, though. Inherited an old dhow from my da when he passed. Right piece of shit it was, too. Realised I was bound to make more coin turning her into a tavern than letting her rot in her berth. What do you want? So long as you don't mind pirates, sure. What can I do for you? What do you want? There's always someone about. What can I do for you? What do you want? So long as you show me.
Good thinking. Watch and learn, Vax. You didn't see anything.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'm always willing. You didn't see anything. I'm always willing. You need me. Let's do this. No need. I've got magic fingers. Let's just keep this a secret.
What do we have here? How can I ease your troubles, friend? I surprise and delight the clientele. My speciality's oils. Full-body rub-downs, right? Fit to leave you limber, clear-headed, and free of the stresses of hard living. I got other skills, of course, should you be looking. And all for a measly 200 pyres. Right this way.
I was born ready.
My, aren't you a handsome one? Did you need help with something, my dear? Isn't it obvious? I entertain, of course. It'll cost you 50 pyres, naturally. And don't let the wrinkles fool you. I'm still young at heart, and I've got more experience than most. Did you need my pleasure?
I was jorting.
If you're enjoying my performance, tips are welcome but not required. Thank you, loyal patron. I work for a handful of pyres per day. How could I find enjoyment in that? I was playing dice and gambled on a sure thing. It turned out not to be such a sure thing, and now Harker owns my arse until I can pay off the debt. Of course, I started off owing him 250, and even though I've paid that twice, now I'm in the hole for 700. The interest rate, this uniform, my food and drinks, they all got added onto my tab at the end of the day. Oh, thank you, patron. I'll be debt-free in no time. Oh, thank...
Hello. May I help you? Need anything? I'm not sure what there is to tell. I'm a man of adventure, mostly. A few. More than I could share in a night, to be sure. There is one that's close to my heart. It led me to my love. I was on an expedition into the backwoods of Seras when I came across an abandoned town. To my great surprise, I found a tremendous hoard of books in the town priest's cottage. The Serans are conservative folk, more so even than the Adherents. They don't have much use for reading that doesn't come from one of the holy texts of the Church of Aethys. And what a selection of books it was. Every subject represented, even some questionable ones. I couldn't help but help myself to them. I took as many as I could carry, and I can carry quite a bit. Read them all cover to cover and learned a lot too. I tired soon of wandering, so I settled in a small town in the Deerwood and became a tutor for a noble family. Fell in love with the governess, naturally, and I stayed. For a while. Well, I felt a stirring in my bones one day. I can't explain it. I just woke up, caught sight of the horizon, and had to go. I left my lady wife right there in our marital bed. I don't know what's waiting for me out here in the Deadfire, but I have hope this will be my biggest adventure yet. Well, you listened to my long tale. I suppose you are owed a trick or two. For the low price of 3,000 copper. Have it your way, then.
I've got this.
Oh, God have mercy on me. Lost my God's damn soul and stupidity. Andre, save me now. My ship was attacked and boarded by pirate hunters. Didn't know if we'd be able to get away, so I swallowed down my most valuable possession, Ngati's black tear, a gemstone about the size of my fist. Of course now it ain't coming out of either end. Been trying all manner of foul concoctions to no effect on account of my stomach being too strong. Years of sailing the storm-racked seas will do that to you. Started feeling an intense pain 2 days ago. I think I might be dying. I can't even crawl no more. Make me puke. Whatever you gotta do, just make it happen before this cursed gem kills me. Give me something strong enough to upset even my iron gut. Rosanella's got a stand in the Radiant Court. She's been supplying me with some, experimental concoctions, tweaking them after. Tell her the last one actually came close to working.
Yes?
Much ado to you, Casita. A word of advice. guard your back in Dunnage. You have not yet carved a name for yourself or your crew. Yet you choose to swim in a sea of sharks. Should one take a bite, the Consuelo will not intervene. Elsewise, how might I be of assistance? You may have noticed a divide between old blood and the new, by which I mean those who descended from or otherwise hold Old Valia in grand esteem, and the varied and often uncouth recruits we have since brought into the fold. I assure you, the latter was supremely by necessity, though perhaps I am ill-equipped to throw stones. As a casita of some repute, you will be most welcome in the king's coffin. But you should watch yourself throughout the radiant court. You have my ear, Casita. Of what do you wish to discuss today? I met Ferrante decades ago. Many years I sailed as his first mate before building my own humble fleet. When in the Principe, do as the Valians do. Unless, of course, you have no care for tradition or the continued sustainability of our way of life, like some filthy new blood. Yes, our Council of Captains. There are 7 seats on the Consuelo, each occupied by a high-ranking captain within the Principe. Seat holders convene to vote on a variety of issues concerning the Principe's well-being. To claim a seat, a captain must have substantial backing and sufficient power, both politically and physically. Ferrante, the last Marcheso, holds the highest-ranking seat because the most ships in our entire fleet have pledged loyalty to his flag. As you can guess, the Sea Wolf, Aldis, commands the second most numerous fleet of ships. As such, she is the second chair, and I am the third. Perhaps you would like to attend the proceedings when the Consuelo next convenes.
What for, cat ahoy?
You have my ear, Casita. Of what the Consuelo will need to vote on it. But with your reputation, and if you vanquished Benwith, as appears to be the case, I do believe you are the most qualified to take his place, Huck. I will speak with Ferrante so that he may consider the matter further.
Done and done.
Look what I found. You didn't see? That's easy. No need to thank me.
Ah, Watcher. Good. You have arrived.
Ahoy there yourself, Captain. What do I be but a pretty bit of man-meat to dangle from a wrist? As easily forgotten as set aside.
A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benoit. I hear you have a flair for the dramatic, or should I say, explosive antics? A magnificent way to settle one's disputes indeed. And you truly left Benoit's reputation in pieces. Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation.
You'd have been right amused, you would. Few sights as fine as that hard-blowing three-sheeter getting what's long been doing.
You are lacking in so many ways, my former ship hunter, but no one can say you are not entertaining. I myself would have enjoyed watching you put the scoundrel in his place. No, as my memory serves me, you did not. And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize. However, there is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen. One which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire. Indeed, and I will say it truly again. This galleon, what likely remains of the Von Ferros, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, amico, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say. Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood. Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. It might have pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can. Go on, gent. I'm ready as I'm like to get me. You aren't quite what I expected, Watcher. You're kinder than most. Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes that moment. High seas, nothing but blue all around. Then mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within. Out of nowhere was a hunt, not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked... rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding. Couldn't kill them. Couldn't even fight them in the end. Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No, Weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it. Dunno me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
Well, I'm more than able to gabble now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
Calling me Craven? Huh, sure, I am. Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care me. They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Fonferus of Old Valia. It belonged to a Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know. She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time. One moment, Watcher. How very clever of you. Indeed, the White Kestrel and her crew were pledged to Aldis. However, it is not by virtue of Aldis that Selenia yet lives, and I would have that well remembered. I can be a generous leader, you understand. Truly. Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Rivan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Darkotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Rivan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume. Regrettably, I know little but this. He was an Adiran warrior priest of Bereth, and a significantly fervent one, if tales are to be believed. He chased our Dakotsi to the Deadfire, hunting her to, well, to her death. Shortly after slaughtering our brave paladin, the priest died, possibly of sickness, or perhaps from a festering battle wound. He was entombed in honor of his service to Berath in Neketaka's sacred stair. By all accounts, our Rivan was a Dorkotsi paladin who sailed to the Deadfire in order to safeguard a royal weapon of Old Valia. She is the epitome of Grand Valia, of magnificence, honor, and duty. Living or undead, she strives still to serve her charge. And yet, we know not why, but a Berethian priest called Izir opposed our Rivan, and fiercely. They fought to the death, Rivans to be precise, in this very archipelago. Along with her life, Rivan lost the sword she had sworn to protect. It has, lamentably, remained unfindable since. I believe it may be why she searches the seas yet. Indeed, I do. Though I and mine cannot so openly venture to the depths of Neketaka, nor can we commune with the dead, you, Watcher, are adept in both of these areas. Correct. You must search the Temple of Berath on Neketaka's sacred stair. Izir's tomb within it should contain a chronicle for how and where he slayed our paladin, Rivan. Gelarde, do return when you've any lead that may navigate us to where the floating hangman anchors. I will be waiting. Gelarde, such a solace it is to see you again. Aimiko, do you know how I have lived so long in this life of piracy? It is not by blabbing all of my secrets to anyone who asks. Come, let us share a fine conversation. Who better to ask than the first chair and highest rank on the Consuelo, Mes Casitas? Ak, what is it you wish to know? What matters is not who they were, Casita. Only that we took it from them. But as you are curious, I will tell you this. The architecture of Balefire Beacon suggests dwarven craftsmanship. My own research into the island upon which I established Dunnage paints these ruins in a picture of blood and agony. Whatever dwarves sought to make their refuge here were exterminated by a crush of Naga tidal waves and great sea monsters all at once. Fortuitously for us, Ondra shelters her loyal sailors more than wayward mountain dwarves. Ak, what is it you wish to know? Indeed, Aimiko. You are correct in this assessment. We are descended from refugees who fled during Old Valia's decline. They sailed the eastern reach to the Deadfire, but they did not settle the islands. Today, even, our shipboard life continues. Ak, what is it you wish to know? We are a magnificent but largely landless people, so we have come to own the sea. To survive, we must seize prosperity where we can. Hence, we are oft labeled as pirates, smugglers, merchants of illicit trade, or mercenaries. It will not always be so, but it is for now. Ak, what is it you wish to know? We are a magnificent, but to survive, it will not. Ak, what is... Come, let us share a I am listening, Aimiko. What weighs on your mind in this moment, Kekore?
You have my ear, Kes.
Sure, why not?
Did you hear? The gilded kestrel was lost at sea.
From Goldfin's fleet? Impossible with her wealth.
Weren't no one to bribe. The floating hangman got 'em. Now they're bones.
Fresh fruit, vegetables, dried goods for long voyages. I got it all right here. What can I stock you up with today?
Andra's gills. There's no hope. That was a disaster of epic proportions if ever I directed one. A typhoon couldn't have cleared out our audience faster. Oh, of course you haven't heard of us. Like I needed more proof that we're talentless hacks. We're the Peg-Leg Performers. Formerly the Seabird Serenaders, formerly the Jax Finnegan First Ensemble of Dunnage. But now, well... my troup's coming apart at the seams. We're short on cash, we're low on people, and we've run plumb dry on enthusiasm. We haven't drawn a decent crowd in more than a fortnight. And it ain't like pirates are hard to please. That's how you know the show really stinks. But I think I know what the problem is. We've got a lack of flair. If only I could hire more talented performers. I just know my play would take off. A better Aethys, for one. I'm the tallest one in our troupe. I'm still not very convincing, even when I bother to dye my skin blue. Also, our special stage effects aren't all that special anymore. We had someone for that role, but she got herself into debt and has a new job at the King's Coffin. Only the biggest thing to hit the Deadfire since the Valian Trading Company started hunting us like sea hounds. I'm talking about Aethys storming through the archipelago and capsizing nearly a whole fleet of our ships. Really? Well, that's great. Then we could... Wait a tick. Why would you help me? What do you get out of this? Right. Beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. I'm in desperate need of 2 more performers. A wizard for one, plus any oaf big enough to pose as Aethys. I happen to know a wizard of the finest skill set who already performs here in Dunnage, Taerna, at the King's Coffin. But unfortunately, I got no idea of where we might find a suitable Aethys. Get me the right people for the parts, and I promise you'll be pleased with your investment. I'll turn us a profit or die trying.
Looking for work? I've got coin and a few scores to settle. You carry yourself like a person well acquainted with violence. Care to put your skills to use for a good cause? And some coin? It's simple enough. The firebrand commanded by Captain Henqua once plagued the Deadfire. The skill and brutality of Henqua's crew was the stuff of legends.
Legendary nightmares, more like. After how they did the crew with a virtuous reward. Even that bastard Benwith wanted nothing to do with them.
But pirate legends don't live long. Some months ago, an alliance of Neketaka pirate hunters managed to corner the firebrand and sink her off the coast of Tikawara. They confirmed Captain Henqua's death, but her senior crew members escaped unscathed. And now it seems like bringing the Firebrand's crew to justice doesn't matter to anyone but me. So I want you to kill them. And I'll pay you out of my own pocket if you do. It's nothing personal. The crew earned their reputation through murder and thievery, and it would make me sick to see them regain an ounce of their power. There's no need to make my concerns your own, my friend. It's family business, that's all. But I suppose you have a right to know. My idiot kid sister was on the Firebrand, seduced to a dishonest life by the promise of adventure. When the pirate hunters killed the crew and sank the ship, they also killed my sister. But those irredeemable lowlifes I sent you after got away without a scrape. I want them to pay. I don't much care how, so long as they take their turn on the wheel. The Firebrand had a mascot, a useless little bastard, who's taken to calling himself Lord Admiral Imp. He's not terribly dangerous on his own, but he's keen to make a nuisance of himself wherever he goes. Last I heard, Lord Admiral Imp was making himself comfortable in Queen's Berth. You'll find him there with a few zarops and constructs, the little buggers convinced to follow him. Bless their simple hearts. You'll be taking down Lady Ipiro, Captain Henqua's former first mate and a rumored lover. She's a cipher, and a dangerous one at that. Ipiro maintains an estate in Serpent's Crown in Neketaka. But I wouldn't recommend you rush in muzzles blasting and swords held high. She keeps a number of bodyguards on her payroll. You'll be going after Katren, the Firebrand's resident wizard. Rumor has it she was once an apprentice to Arkemir before turning pirate. Last I heard, Katren and her sundry little minions could be found lazing about the sacred stair here in Neketaka at night. No idea where she disappears off to during the day. I have a challenge for you, my friend. And his name is Torkar, leader of the Firebrand's boarding parties. He's an ogre, with a reputation for cleverness and cruelty both. I've even heard tell it was Torkar who was behind the Firebrand's most successful tactics, not Henqua. Torkar was last seen at Lifte's refuge here in Dunnage, dead set on joining a crew, or assembling his own. I trust you won't let that happen. Happy hunting.
So you're the captain the old hawk's been talking about? Aye, you do look like a fearsome sort. Welcome to Dunnage. What are you having? I'll pour you a double. No one survives the floating hangman, or so they say. It's the ship of the dead. You spy it on the horizon, you flee as fast as you can. Ah, I guess the last concoction I made for him didn't do the trick then. Poor bastard. There's one last tincture recipe I know that won't kill him, probably. It's called Andra's Bile, but I don't have all the ingredients in stock. You'll need a rotten hagfish, an unripened palm stone, and a vial of fire kelp extract. Have him mix it all with a half tankard of grog, and well, hope for the best. I did tell you the list of ingredients, eh? He'll have stuff dribbling out of both ends for a week. Maybe two, if he's really unlucky. The goal is to make him vomit, remember? A rotting hagfish produces a special oil once it reaches a certain level of decay. Check the barrels around Lifter's Refuse for the rotten hagfish. You might be able to find unripened palmstone for sale somewhere in Radiant Court. Harker in the King's Coffin usually keeps some fire kelp extract on hand for special purposes. Be careful when dealing with that one.
I heard he was playing the harpsichord
I'm telling
when he
you,
went
ask for
clean up.
Edwina in the King's Coffin. She'll make you see stars.
You half-masted sot! She's got to be 90 years old!
That would be a no.
Welcome to my emporium. Whatever you need, I sell. What would you like to buy today? I do now. I started out with only one stall and eventually branched out, buying out my competitors one by one.
Ahoy. Done and done.
Let's just keep it a secret.
My old captain was a drinker from the day he was born to the day he died. Always he was rail thin. He wound up with a wooden leg, 26 ships, and a bilious fever. Sunrise is a woe, doves. The coming horizon is a sea-sized ruin.
My good sir, hello. Whatever might I do for you? I'm certain there's no need to tell you, observant as you no doubt are, that I am an actor. Stage, tavern, street corner. They are as much my home as where I lay my head at night. So, I travel Eora, looking for opportunities to share my gifts with the grateful masses, wherever that may lead me. Oh, goodness, yes, loads of it. I've been known to joke that I'm less a man than I am a walking bank for all the coin that I carry. The common folk do so love an actor. We bring mystery and excitement to their otherwise dreary lives. Yes, you could say we're doing the gods' work. How dare you? But you're not wrong, to my great chagrin. Times have been tough of late, what with the giant statues smashing up the place, and few in the Deadfire have coin to spare besides. It's quite difficult, you know, living as I do. On occasion, foolish folk will take my act for reality. I've thrice been run out of a town for impersonating a foreign dignitary. Damn fools don't understand the blistering wit of my satire, I tell you. I had to learn to protect myself as a result, though I must admit, what martial skills I've got aren't of use for much more than fighting off wolves, or throttling a thief with designs on my satchel. Thank the gods, I hardly ever need to use them. I could talk myself out of nearly anything, you know. Well, thank you. I must say it's gratifying to be recognized for one's talents. All things being equal, I'd much rather recite a sonnet than swing an axe, but a man's got to make his way in the world any way he can. I would be honored, but a man needs to make a living, you know. So, for my services, how about 3,000 copper? You know where to find me. May luck accompany you on.
That's easy. I've got magic. Tips are always good.
Hey. Sure. Hey.
I've got magic fingers.
Welcome to the treasure trove, sailor. Anything in my trove catches your eye, you let me know. All right.
Hey. Of course.
Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you? What? I'm no actor. And besides, I can't barely see nothing as it is. You really think so? Maybe I do have a mug made for the stage. I sure got the voice for it, eh? Turn me in the right direction, and I'll make me way to the Radiant Court.
Uh-huh.
Stage is this way, ain't it?
I was born red. Let's do this.
Puny. Too puny to join my crew. Go away. Be gone. Scram. As I said, I seek bodies for a crew. And no, you cannot join. It is kind of you to announce yourself to me, bounty hunter. It will be just as kind of you to die by my hand.
You need me, don't you? I guess. Let's do this.
What can I do for you? Sure do. And at a generously discounted price too. 250 pyres. What can I do for you? Be careful you don't get any of it in your eyes. Burns like a mother. Oh, burns like you wouldn't believe. Wouldn't wish that sting on anybody. Not even my worst enemy. Actually, yeah. Yeah, I would.
I guess.
Welcome back, patron. I so hope you enjoy the performance. I'd be happy to go back working for her, except I owe Harker over there a good deal of money. Stupid dice went cold at the wrong time. Until I pay him what I owe, 700 pyres, I'm not going anywhere. Talk it over with Harker. Maybe you'll be feeling generous. A more likely possibility is he'll try and put a knife between your ribs. Assuming he doesn't, or you survive it, you ought to know he hides his money in his private quarters. Would be a shame if someone stole it. You haven't heard the rumours, I take it? Some people say he's the Red King. Come on now, you're pulling my leg. The Red King was a pirate with a grudge against the Valian Republics, supposed to have died years ago. But some folks say he faked his death to escape the wrath of the Valian Republics. Those same folks say that Harker was the Red King. I wouldn't go on asking him about it, if you know what I mean. Harker's got a nasty reputation, a real violent disposition, and besides, people in this port generally don't like others prying into their past.
What can I do for you? Infamous to his enemies, famous to his friends. Folks deciding to call me the Red King, I had nothing to do with that. But I didn't tell them to stop neither. See, the Valian Republics drove my Dar out of business, and I repaid them in kind by taking their ships and their treasure. A whole lot of it. Got right tired of ship hunters crawling up my arse every time I went out to sea, though. So I paid off my crew, scuttled this ship here, and went my merry way. In other words, the Red King is dead. And if you ask me any more about it, you will be too.
Let's take a look.
Real quiet now.
Time for some... My body is all... Let's do this, sure thing.
Damn my gut! Just lost my gold-darn soul in stupidity! Andre! Damn my gut! Lost my... Oh! Oh, God! He's coming out the other end now! Oh, now, if you'll excuse me, I need a change of bottoms.
I was born ready. I've got this.
Good day. Need anything? Fair winds.
Knock, knock.
You're the captain who Aldi's invited to parley, ain't you? I'm to keep an eye out. It's so I can provide you an escort when you arrive. Right this way, Captain. It's my pleasure to show our honoured guest around. Aye, it sure is.
You must be Captain.
Glad you could make it, Loveson. Like what you see? The mark on this side, it means I'm the second highest rank on the Council of Captains. I'm but one chair below that cockrot Ferrante. Now, I know I offered you a full parley, but I'm a pirate, which means I'm loyal to my crew. But otherwise, I lie whenever it benefits me. You killed my fourth chair, and a damn good friend. A part of me might be impressed, but a part of me wants to flay the skin from your face. Understand? If you've an explanation, I'd advise you to give it up real quick. Ferrante further stacks the council in his favor, I see. Or maybe not. But with Ben gone, you cut off my right hand. How do you plan to replace it? Oh, I do like you. Good answer, Captain. I admire a man who doesn't back down. You've got guts, and not just smattered in your hair. Now, with that out of the way, I'd like to make you a deal. Forgive me for dragging you all this way, but I find the proposition of a partnership best works in person. Me and mine within the Principe would make for powerful allies on your side. But would you give us loyalty in return? That I'd like to know. You're the cautious type. I can respect that. Or maybe you just like to be wooed. But is it gold, booze, or power you're after? I'll offer you all three, and some, if you join with me. But I like to be courted too, Lovesome. And I always come first. Say you wanted to entice an alliance of like-minded captains. You might start by aiding one of my best in Nekataka. She smuggles through the Undercroft. Goes by the name of Mad Morena, she does. And let me tell you, Dove, she's earned the moniker. It's a hidden port, but I'm sure you'll find it, unaided by me. You've a bright future ahead of you, Watcher. See that you don't tarnish it by flying the wrong pirate's flag. Out with the stale and in with the new, eh? I know you've met with Ferrante, that you may even be working for him, that pribbling cockrot. But that doesn't mean you can't partner with me instead. Don't do anything to let him catch on. Just keep me appraised of certain future events as they shape up. Aye? How clever you are. No need to commit to it now. You just think on it the next time you're toiling for a man who'd happily gut you. After you've done his bidding, given half the chance. When the time's right, we'll set our strategy. Well, what can I do, you lovesome? We're the future, and we ain't going nowhere. We're pirates, lovesome. We own this sea, and the sea loves us back in her twisted way. Ferrante pines for a homeland he's never seen. But what does old Valia mean to me or my crew? We're not Valian, and we never will be. Though if you're Valian and you want to join our bloodline, you're more than welcome. Generations ago, and I grew like a weed in the deerwood, you see? You say Consueglo me casitas. I say Council of Captains. You say Principe. I say best pirates in the Deadfire. You say swollenette? I say, well, some things stay the same. What? Like for hobbies? When I'm not out plundering the seas, I'm right here ruling my fleet. Suppose I like a good bit of target practice. And of course, who doesn't like rum and a hot bath? Don't guess you like the same? Well, sure. You're welcome to use mine, but perhaps later, when there's less of a crowd around. Got something for me, Dove? I'm all ears. I figured as much. That's how Ferrante gained his political standing. And that's how he keeps it, with underhanded tactics that whittle his opponents into ruin. Me? I prefer to face my foes head-on. Give them the chance to join me before I fucking annihilate them. And I like to reward those who support me. I'm good to my allies, you see. For your troubles, Dove, let me share with you a little of my treasure. Nekataka. But why there, lovesome? Well, go on then. I'm sure you've heard our saying, share and share, as is the law of the coast. And one or both of them are of interest to us in acquiring the floating hangman for our own means. I see. This Lucia Van. I know her name. She captained the Fonferus some 2 centuries ago. If you find anything else, be sure to let me know. The floating hangman is the remains of the Fonferus. Interesting. Quite very interesting. I had heard rumors as to such. The floating hangman flies a flag featuring the burning palace from Old Valia. As you wish, Dove. I am happily and wholeheartedly at your disposal. At least until I get bored.
Let's just keep our little secret. Knock, knock. No need. No need. You're fine, but what's my motivation? Look what I found. Knock, knock. Tips are... appreciated. Sure. Why not?
I'll be more than half-hand to you are.
Spice? You spice? The meat man sends his regards. No need to thank you.
Oh, that were a beaut.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind. The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000 bells ringing all at once. You feel a resonance in your core, a bell ringing in tune with all the others. Something in you bends, then breaks, and you are borne away on the ringing tide, just another peal among the many. The tide of bells recedes. You lever yourself up onto your knees and realize you have been here before. You stand in Bareth's realm. You are alone. And then, you are not. An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. Bottomless black eyes. A yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Bareth, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus. And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near you cannot comprehend their size. The shifting image of Bareth settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
Watcher.
Her voice is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
The Pallid Knight knits her brows.
He does not seek to return to the Beyond? Intriguing.
Her sickly pale skin pulls tight across the bones of her face, as if the shell of this aspect does not quite fit the impossible creature it contains. The figure nearest Bareth dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped, ancient crone whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire. The goddess Wodica strides forward.
Does Aethys frighten you, Bareth? He should. Magran subdued Aethys's influence once before, and yet he returned.
From out of Wodica's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan. His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars, and breath whistles through the ragged hole in his face where his nose once was. He does not speak, but stares up at Wotica, with naked loathing plain on his ruined face. Wotica steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
She casts a sly look at the pallid night from the corners of her eyes.
A moon would do the job nicely.
Wotica stares at you down her long nose.
I would destroy it all in the blink of your wide eye if I believed it would benefit me. Empires can be rebuilt. Souls can be reforged. Do not forget it.
The figure beside the aspect of Berith flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash. The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword. Mogren's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do nothing, nor destroy the world. I acted in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
Mogren looks at you as one might a wayward gob of spit on one's shoe.
It is no business of yours what the gods decide.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves.
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the beyond? He should be welcomed.
You look up then into avian eyes. Through them, you see clouds of starlings converge and divide. Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest.
He wouldn't. Betrayal is not in his nature.
Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys' return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot. Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wotica suggests, and crush him into the earth.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who let dear, desperate Alice die, instead of putting an end to the man who tormented her. Curious.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless mouth and grins, then turns to Helia.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
Your point is well made, little Watcher. If self-evident, Aethys has not been known to possess a vindictive nature. Indeed, he has occasionally been magnanimous to a fault. However, if we push him to the brink of reason, there is no telling what he may do. He is, as ever, unpredictable.
Something akin to fondness creeps into her voice. The pallid knight gestures for silence.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time. Both stand in his favor.
Mogren grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake. Magrin stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return, if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
The pallid night casts a cold, cutting glare in Magrin's direction.
Magrin speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken, Watcher.
Woedica waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Her voice takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys, other than decisive, final action.
Your opinion is unasked for, but noted.
The Pallid Knight says.
We will act when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
The Pallid Knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height. The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Follow him, Watcher.
The black of the Pallid Knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time. Helpless to resist, you tumble into her impossible eyes. You fall wildly, endlessly, unable to find your bearings or slow your spin. And in the distance, above, no, behind you, comes an insistent ringing. You angle yourself toward it, searching for the sound. A small silver bell appears just inches from your fingertips. You reach for it, straining to still its interminable ringing. The moment you touch it, your soul slams into your body with all the force of a fall from the top of the sky. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin, alone.
That's easy.
Well, hey, tell me what's on your mind. They're there in my head, and sometimes I'm glad we talked.
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your little boat?
Why do we gotta be farmers just 'cause we're from Deerwood?
Are you a farmer?
Yeah, but you can't just assume. We got rabble-rousers, too.
I'm the harbor master, Kauha. I must ask your reason for docking in Neketaka. Yes, you do. You can't dock a ship in the harbor and have your run of Queen's Birth without giving me a good reason for docking here.
Show them. Show them what you are. Yes. Yes. That's it.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief, save the purple flames for the tribes of the Outer Islands.
Now.
What? What is this?
Run for it!
I think I got a ghost up my nose there. That's better.
Let's just keep this secret.
Watcher. Tiverus. Is it really you?
Hey, I know those feathers. Pallegina.
It's been ages. But what's happened to your armor?
You two know each other? I mean, I wouldn't be jealous if you did.
Know this last Cap? Oh, I wanted to wear you favoured feathers.
am sure that even at Cadnua, you must have heard what happened when I returned to the Republics. The Republic survived. That is the most important thing. And here the company's business seems to be getting on fine without my interference. No. No company associated with the Dukes will employ me now. I get by working as a ship guard. At least I can be among my people, even if they look down on me. I suppose I should not be surprised considering all we went through. But no, I will not be coming with you, Watcher. I would be lucky if I wound up dead. Kores, Watcher.
Maybe we don't start with the part about Aethys next time?
Need a fresh jacket or pants? Something more delicate? If you have a frame, I can fit cloth to it without fuss. Take your time. I'll give you space to browse.